What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Campbell's Morrell Music Rig Rundown, episode 12. And we keep this moving right along with these things. And we figured, we've had enough drummers for a while, so we're going to bring some more guitar players back in that has the real rigs. And
until we can find some new bass players.
There we go. Yeah. Today we got Mr. Aaron Rice of the band Fairview out of Johnson City here joining us. We appreciate you showing up and doing this thing for us. And y'all be sure we'll talk about Fairview as we go along. And it's a pop punk easy core, as they slate themselves band.
Back in the day, they used to say happy hardcore.
Okay.
That didn't last very long. Time.
Yeah. So great band, great musicians, and all around. I mean, sounds great. So we'll just jump right in this rig, and like everybody else, I always start with the guitar. And you got a beautiful shell pink Reverend here. So if you want to. Do you know the model or what?
Yeah, so this is the Reverend OG. That's a double agent. So it's got the Carina body style. I think that all of the Reverends have that. It's got the roasted maple neck. I don't know what it is, but for all the years that I played guitar, my preference is to play a maple neck. And I've had a couple that I've traded around for, where I'd get the rosewood neck, but for some reason I just always come back to a maple neck, and it's probably because I really like playing Fender. But you try to branch out sometimes. So I picked up this Reverend OG somewhat recently, and I'm really digging it. The cool thing is that they've got their humbucker here in your bridge position, and then they put it's not a P90, it's their version of a P90 here in the neck position. So you don't see that very often, I don't think. So I've got all the stock electronics in this still, because I've not had it very long, and who knows if I'll ever change it. The thing that Reverend kind of is most proud of, or maybe not most proud of, but just they're really excited about, is their bass contour knob here. So if you want to go ahead and shape your bass, you can go ahead and use this knob here, and then just twist it to kind of find the tone that you're looking for. So
I've noticed they put that in about all of their guitars usually. So
that's their thing, and I'm pretty sure that they've done it just on about every guitar, and that's kind of one of their their signature features on their models. They've also got this, I don't remember what it's called, just like a T tree where it covers, 3 of the strings on the headstock there. That's one of their things too that is unique about them. It's got the locking tuners on it as well. I've not owned many guitars that have had locking tuners, and my goodness, once
they're
I finally
worth their weight in gold.
I know. Like once you get one, you're like, oh my gosh, like no more just like twisting the tuning peg 100 times to get to the the tuning that you need to with your strings. So, that's one of the nice things.
I tell everybody, locking tuners for nothing else is just for string changes, makes it worth the money.
Yeah, you'll save 10 or 15 minutes just by having locking tuners on your guitar.
So. We've carried Reverend in the past. We haven't had them in a while. And, I mean, they're a great quality guitar for the money. I think everything now goes back through his shop, and they get set up right there in Ohio somewhere, and then shipped out before they.
Yeah, so they actually make them in Korea, and then they ship them back to their factory. Is it Ohio? I think that's right.
I think it's Ohio. Yeah.
It probably says somewhere on here. But they ship it back, and then they'll go ahead and actually set it up at the Reverend shop for you.
Yeah.
So that's one of the nice things about it, is that you can basically play it out of the box. It should
everything
come in tune, and set up to play.
And one thing we probably haven't mentioned in the past is, I noticed you were running strap locks.
Mm-hmm.
that's another thing that I think is worth its weight in gold, especially if you just put the same strap locks on every guitar. You can just take a strap and just click it right in, just for the easy use.
I actually had the Reverend Jetstream before this, and I traded for this one specifically because I just wanted to get a hardtail on it as opposed to having the whammy bar, and it also I traded so that I could get this maple neck, but same thing. I just went ahead and I just popped them off the Jetstream, put them on this one. So who knows how many guitars I've put these on and taken off. And,
and then you're running the fret wrap just for to kill some of the overtones, or you're probably running a lot of gain and stuff.
Yeah, we run high gain. That's just kind of rock and roll.
Yeah, for sure.
To run the gain high. Of course, when you're running gain on your amp and your distortion, gotta back off a little bit, but kind of a newer thing for me too, to put the fret wrap on there to kill some of that fret noise.
Yeah, for sure. So you're coming straight out of that, and we've talked about everybody else having their tuner first. He's actually got a buffer right before that tuner, and a buffer's used usually to boost. If you're running a lot of cable or a lot of pedals, you're losing some of that high end, and that buffer helps bring that back.
It was actually Chase, who's a singer in Fairview. He recommended that I go ahead and get a buffer, and let me tell you, it's night and day. Like the moment you plug it in, and the nice thing is, you don't have to stomp on it or anything. It's just run, right? But it definitely cleans up your signal chain to make it sound just, a little bit, cleaner. It cuts through the mix, a lot better. Because that was one of the things that I was finding, there was just a problem until I picked up that buffer and actually changed my amp too. But just I couldn't cut through the mix as well as I would like. But
and the thing back in the day was like everybody had to have the true bypass pedals. Oh, it had to be true bypass or it wasn't no good. But we've since learned that having a buffer is okay, especially when you're running some cables and patch cables and all that stuff. So out of the tuner,
into the noise suppressor,
the Boss noise suppressor NS2, for just taming some of that feedback and high gain stuff. So,
and the funny thing is, I'm not even sure I need it at this point because I just picked up the Apex preamp recently, and it's got the noise gate in it as well. So you'll notice I don't even have the noise suppressor on at the moment. So I may or may not continue to keep that, but we'll see because I've not had the Apex preamp for too long. So we'll do the side-by-side comparison and see. But yeah, the noise suppressor, when you're running that high volume, high gain, it's essential.
And we talked about this a little bit before we started about the Apex preamp. I haven't heard of this preamp, but you know a little bit more about it. And
so it's a metal specific pedal. So if you don't want something that's going to be specifically for metal, I would not pick up the Apex preamp from Horizon Devices. I believe it's Misha Mansour from Periphery, and I believe that he is actually partnered with MXR to go ahead and create this. They've got an overdrive as well, but this is their distortion pedal, and you've got the noise gate, which is pretty cool. It's got a cab sim in it as well, which I don't need because I'm running
you're in
this.
a cab.
And then it's got the tight stomp feature there too. So like when you're doing your chugs, you can just turn that on. And it tightens it up a little bit. So a lot of players that are in like the gent realm, or in some of like the thrashier metal bands would probably pick this up and get a lot of use out of it. Maybe it's a little too much for easy core, but I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, for sure. Out of that into this way huge blue hippo.
So that's my my course, and it's a Vibe. I don't really use the Vibe very often. In fact, I don't use it for Fairview. It's more so just to mess around with at home. But the blue hippo from Way Huge, it's it's a nice little compact pedal, fits on the board well. The thing I like about it is it's just two knobs for your speed and your depth. I would consider myself a chug and plug kind of player, so that one's easy for me because you only got two knobs to mess with there.
Yeah, simpler better for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of my motto.
And then of course the Earthquake Devices Dispatch Master. I've heard that pedal before. It's a great sounding pedal. It's like a reverb and delay.
Yeah, it's reverb and delay.
Yeah.
In one. Earthquaker Devices, great company. this one, I don't use it. I use it in at least one song. I'll go ahead and kind of kick it on for some short leads and some of the songs that we do. But there's one that I use it kind of heavily in, and let me tell you, it's an easy one too, because you just turn it on and just the sound is just fantastic out of that.
Yeah, most Earthquaker pedals that we carry, if you've checked them out before, there's a lot of strange pedals that Earthquaker does that they're like, you're not sure what this thing is supposed to be doing and how this works, but they all sound great. But this is one of the more simple reverb delay, all in one box and one button, turn it on and go.
Yeah, I wanted the Acapulco Gold for a while, which is just it's their fuzz, just got that one pedal.
That thing's gnarly.
And I was like, that would make no sense for the type of music I play, but it there's some cool demo videos online with that one. So
yeah, sweet. So you're coming out. Go ahead.
So I was gonna say I'm running the side chain into the Apex preamp there. So basically, that separates my Dispatch Master and my Blue Hippo, so that I can cut out some of the noise there.
Yeah. So. Nice. And then the pedal train pedal board, powering it all by Voodoo Labs Pedal Power. And then you said you just picked this up recently. So yeah, we've not had one of these on the program, but a Victory. Yeah. And
so Victory is pretty sweet. They're a relatively newer company. They've been around for a decade or so, I think. But the Victory Kraken, they've got two models of this one. They've got the VX50 or the Kraken, which is the model I have, so 50 watts. And then they've got the Super Kraken, which is their 100-watt version. Some minor differences between the two, besides the difference in the wattage there. The one drawback to the Kraken, which is not a big deal to me, but that doesn't technically have a true clean channel. Yeah. So you just got to go ahead and turn the gain way down, but there's still just a slight breakup, with this one. But again, I'm really digging this amp because if you look at the amount of knobs on there, it's pretty limited, right? Yeah. You basically got your gain 1, gain 2, master 1, master 2 volume, and then your 3-band EQ. So so the gain 1 channel is their British version, of like kind of like a modeling. I think it's a Marshall JCM 900. It's one of the JCM series amps that they've kind of modeled there. And then the gain 2 is like your American gain channel, which is more similar to like the 5150 sound. So two really good distortions or gain stages in
works
one
perfect
amp.
For what you're doing.
Yeah. And then on the back of the amp here, one of the neat things is they've got this bass focus. So the gentleman that designed this, they actually, I guess the company didn't really like the amount of bass that he had in there, but he was really adamant about it. So, they went ahead and added this little button on the back of this. So if you want to introduce a little bit more of I think it's a bass focus. It's called, bass focus. Like if you want to press that in, just, adds a little more bass into your sound. So
I'm all about the bass. So yes, and out of that into the Orange 212 cabinet.
It's just got the vintage 30s in it.
Yeah, stock orange with vintage 30s. Can't go wrong there for sure.
It's classic.
Yeah.
It's pretty common in the hardcore, easy core arena to see somebody with an Orange 212 or a 412. So I like it. I was able to pick the one up with the black Tolex, which is just a little
a little different,
little nicer, I think. But I'm digging it. It's a good setup for me. So the only thing I don't have at the moment is the foot switch for this, but it's on its
just
way right now.
Just to switch the two channels.
Yeah, so I can go ahead and change the gain 1, gain 2, or master 1, master 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's. I guess we'll just get some sounds out of this thing, kind of see what it sounds like. Yeah. And see what these pedals, mainly just the horizon effects and the two.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of effects because for me, I've never been somebody that just wants to tone search. You'd think I would just go ahead and have a digital setup because you can just preset all of your tones. But
there's still like having something like pushing air on stage. It's nothing to about missing that for sure. But play.
So we'll go ahead and we'll start. We'll put a little distortion there with the Apex preamp. I obviously haven't even velcroed that one down yet. But all right. So I mean, it's already pretty tight, but if you add that in there, you can see it's like. It's pretty cool. So.
Sweet, yeah, that thing sounds great. And I forgot to mention, what tuning do y'all usually tune to? Or is it multiple tunings?
Oh yeah, so for the most recent recordings that we've been working on, we actually changed our tuning to D standard, so just a full step down. Prior to that, we've been playing in mostly like drop C sharp, so drop it a half step and then drop your E string to C sharp. And man, I've played in that tuning for as long as I've been playing guitar. Basically, once I found pop punk and some of the easy core stuff, I've been in C sharp for as long as I can remember. So it made sense when we started the band to stay with C sharp. But the most recent stuff that we've been doing, we realized that we might want to change it up. And I was writing a lot in my basement, not even plugged into an amp, and I was playing in that D standard tuning and coming up with some pretty cool riffs.
Yeah.
So that's what our next couple of recordings are going to be in. And
sweet.
That just means we got to carry 2 guitars.
And y'all are recording now as we speak. So
so our bass player, I say bass player because he used to be the bass player, and we just recently kind of swapped positions here. But Alex took over guitar, and Chris Mitchell went ahead and took over the bass. But Alex Ryan, he runs the Soul Asylum, or Soul Asylum. Jeez, that's a band.
We'll cut that out.
He runs the Sound Asylum over in Boones Creek, or AXR Recordings, and we were fortunate enough to partner up with him for the first 2 recordings that we did for Better Than Okay and Dear Wednesday. And after working with him on that second track, we just said, hey, do you want to join the band?
Yeah.
So it's been pretty cool to have that resource within the band. And Alex is, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
And he runs that studio, so we practice there and we record with him. One of the things that we're doing differently this time is we've previously recorded with a little bit more digital technology. He has a Kemper, so we'll run it through like the modeling amp, and we've captured some tones with our Chase's 5150 as well, and kind of blended them. But we're going to full amps mic'd for this next couple of
sweet.
tracks.
Yeah, that's gonna sound good. Yeah, Alex is a great dude, and in the future, I think we're going to try to do like a recording rig rundown, and maybe go out there and talk to him and see the whole setup and everything too. He's a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, him and Travis K. Meyer. I don't know. There's 2 better people in this area to go to for recording. And
we're not allowed to mention Travis's name anymore. But they're great people.
Yeah, well, it's kind of neat because Fairview, we played about a decade ago. Did our first EP with Travis.
Yeah.
And then a decade later, it's like, let's get the band back together again. And this time we went to Alex, and you can tell it's both great recordings, just a little bit different
era,
different style, different era. So. Yeah.
So y'all the band kind of started in like 2010, somewhere around there, and then kind of took a little break.
took a long hiatus.
Yeah. Chase decided to become a country star for a little while. And
he was a country star. He was writing some of that, like that pop music. He basically wrote The Weeknd, one of their albums, or one of his albums before The Weeknd actually did it.
Oh yeah, I've heard some of that stuff. Yeah.
Weeknd just doesn't know it.
We got to give Chase a hard time.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Speaking of Chase, I'm gonna insert this here. So we've got 4 guitar players in the band. Only 2 of us actually play the guitar live, but we got 4 guitar players in the band because Chris Mitchell also plays guitar and Chase plays guitar. And the funny thing is that Chase doesn't even play guitar, but he's probably the best one in the band. So you want to hear
pedals
here?
Yeah, so we heard the Horizon effects, and if you want to go through the other 2 here. And
Yeah, so the Blue Hippo, if I were playing one of our songs called Dear Wednesday, I'd probably throw this on the clean part, which got tuned down for that. So give me a second here. Yeah, so I might do something like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's got a cool cool tone. We don't use it very often. Honestly, I have a coarse pedal just because I'm an '80s metal kind of guy. Zach Wild, I mean, he's the man. So you know, I definitely dig playing some, you know, stuff from the '80s. Not technically, you know, the same as him, but you know. Well,
that was the Blue Hippo. Yeah. We'll hear the Dispatch Master pedal.
Yeah. All right, so.
Yeah, it can't beat the sound of that.
Yeah.
This Victory sounds great through that 212.
Oh man, yeah. So you know, I was talking about Zach Wild earlier. Like one of the things that you know, I'd come here probably about a year ago, I guess, to get that orange 8030,
Yeah.
and you know, we gigged with that for a while. We even recorded a little bit on our Better Than Okay EP with that amp. But you know, one of the things I just couldn't do with that was just killing me was hit the pinch harmonics that I wanted to. You know, and as soon as I pick this thing up, then it's just like, you know.
Oh yeah.
Got to be able to do that. You know?
That sounds great. And so we talk about, you know, Fairview a little bit, and we'll throw that link up right now. And y'all check them out. Go to their social media pages, follow them. They've got some music streaming online. Y'all just done a video here recently that I watched that's pretty cool and bloody and all kinds of stuff on there, and filmed by Jeff Payne. And it looked great.
So Jeff Payne, another, you know, local creative, you know, person in the area. Jeff and I actually went to high school together. He was a year above me, but Jeff is so fun to work with. So I, you know, certainly recommend if anybody's looking for somebody to, you know, work with for a music video. I mean,
or Jeff, even photos too.
Or even photos. Yeah. Jeff does a lot of spooky stuff. So if you're into spooky stuff, that's part of the reason that we, you know, went to him with the idea of doing the you know, music video where we all get killed off. Is you know, Jeff already has experience using fake blood. And, you know, kind of setting, you know, death scenes up. So I mean, he's a fun guy to work with. You know, he's really talented, and we're just, you know, really happy with the product that he's able to put out for us.
It looked great for sure. Yeah, so y'all go check that out. Check that video out. And we mentioned a few of your band members, Chase. Chase Buchanan there, and Chris Mitchell and Alex, and the drummer's name.
Chris Miller. So Chris Miller, he's played in a couple bands in the area. Well, you know drummers. They're always playing more than one band at a time.
For sure.
Chris Mitchell's been in probably every band in Johnson City at some point.
He was in my band for a day, I think. So
yeah.
I gotta give Chris Mitchell a little bit of credit. He come up with the name of the Dime Store Cowboys.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll give him credit for that. Nah, we love Chris.
He's a good guy. I mean, he started playing guitar, now he's playing bass for us. You know, you never know. He might end up playing drums for us.
He's a good songwriter too. But
you ought to get him on here sometime to play a little bass for you.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to try to get Chase back there up here and just do a crazy rig rundown.
You probably won't get a lot of talking done. It'll just be chased in a little bit of this, you know, the whole time. That's what he does, man. He can noodle for hours.
Yeah. So and again, we thank you for coming and showing us your setup and what you use in Fairview. Victory amp sounds great. 212 orange, can't beat it. Pretty simple setup, but
Yeah, like I
you know,
said, plug and chug player.
plug
man.
and chug, and that's the way to go. But you've been coming here for a long time. Like I said, you purchased the orange from us a little bit
Yeah, the
while
Dispatch
ago.
Master as well. So I'm definitely somebody that looks for used gear. I swear I don't know that I've bought many used or new guitars or amps over the years. If I have, they've been here. But one of the nice things I love about Morrell's is just, volume pot goes out. I can bring it down here, get it fixed, and lightning fast time. And that's something that typically is just needed before we're about to gig or whatever.
Yeah. We got a great service department with Tyler and Con and everybody, and they do great work. And I would argue probably one of the best used pedal markets around for sure.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
if you like pedals and guitars and amps and everything else, but.
It's kind of like walking into a vinyl record store or something like that, and just like you just go over there and just pedals just crammed in there, and you're just like, oh, what do I want to try out today? So, I'm not, necessarily a guy that, like I said, I'm not, tone searching for a lot of pedals, but I've definitely had a lot of different pedals over the years. But I feel like I've landed on a pretty good setup right now that I'll probably have for
a while,
for some time. So.
Yeah, if you just want to check out some more, and we'll see what it sounds like, and we'll fade that into some nice Fairview music and rock and roll.
Yeah. You good? I'll show you that new one we've been working on. See if you dig this or not. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. Heck yeah.
Breakdown's gonna be good.
Can't wait to hear that.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Aaron Rice, Fairview. Check them out. Campbell's Morrell Music. Yeah.
Swallow down that cheap beer. Another local bar, another cover set. Maybe your ego will shit out something relevant. You're desperate for acceptance.